my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, meet the enemy. They offering immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy, spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy, spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy, spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Deity personality, foundation theory, awaken to the enemy, only physically free. The V got rappers being stingy, a whack copy, hopeless picture of reality. The money's not in sight, sin reason right, days dark as night, opportunity treated life. We right for the picking, jailhouse sitting, we're bitten and we're hitting, but still we rise and fit in the system. We get it, stick and move to get them, like items we selling, drinking, smoking and chilling. Who's willing to change or increase our range? This level of pain makes the world seem strange and plain. You, that funky and new, brand hip hop for you, rappers having a clue. A fool can feel the squeezing, juice mixed with reason. Self-knowledge leading is the harvest disease. Come on, dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy, spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy, spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Enemy escaping, lyrical ciphers I made, rotating in play, bait, sweet kids, street science, state, slave thought, break, dangerous moves, create, nature control, fate, you overestimate dreams, quick come up schemes, for the cream and the means, to be heard or seen, your fiends for that, I risk behavior at best, streets live off stress, inject the hell to digest, protect your neck, the enemy slick, government and politics, those Roman tricks, slave money benefits for rich, post this, some hit, some miss, hands turn to fist, in the fist we learn.
What's up, Fizzo?
What up?
What's up, people? I just had a little music going, before we even started. I haven't even said nothing. What's good, Facebook? You already know what time it is. It's Jazzy and Mento. We doing the car talk. Had a little music in the beginning. What's good, Jazzy?
I'm cooling. I just got to put my hip. Oh, they coming. Hold on. They connected.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Florida.
Shit. We're in the rainy season down here.
Oh, it's hot here.
It's funny how when I was in the military and I was in Panama, it had 2 seasons, wet and dry. It would rain every single day, bro, at the same time.
Yeah, I remember you telling me half the year,
for 6 months. Half the month. In the next 6 months, you don't get a drop of rain. Nothing. And Florida mimics that. It's not as intensive, but it has the same flavor to it.
How you doing?
But I'm good. Can't complain. Oh, you crispy with the New York grim?
Oh boy. I just talked to him. He said he's going to be logging on in a second. This is a good one because we've been trying to get him for a minute,
So we do have a special guest coming on shortly. So what's going on? What do you think about this holiday, Juneteenth? What do you think?
I guess for most people it's a day off, right? But I don't like the way that it ain't even special no more like it used to be, because once they get their hands in it and start marketing, it takes away for the whole thing. It's just about money. It's just like any other holiday now.
Fact.
Capitalizing off the dollar, so that's what I don't like.
You name me, besides Mother's Day and Father's Day, name me one more day that's an actual real holiday.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, my brother.
There you go. What's good?
Hey, peace, chilling.
Peace, bro.
Hey, peace. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain.
We've been trying to get you on here forever, man.
I know. I just got a lot going on. That's all.
I know. It's a hot one up here today, right?
It really is.
Yeah. So, I'm Jazz. That's Mento, brother Haru. We're so glad to have you. We
follow each other on Facebook.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Let me go in the house real quick because I got cars passing by and I can barely hear y'all. So give me one moment.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'll take this heat any day. Mental
Uh, bro,
over that
it's
cold.
not even that hot because it just
He should be
rained down
texting
here
y'all
where
in a
I'm
few
at.
minutes. All right,
Oh,
I'll be upstairs for a
now
minute.
So
now
now
if we go ahead and get the
it's
rain, it
kind of
might cool
cool.
it
It done
off.
cooled it down.
Okay,
What?
okay.
How hot is it up there?
It's got to be 95 at least,
Oh, what?
Yeah,
96.
absolutely.
Peace,
Hmm.
love, or peace.
So
Turn this.
yeah, well, what I was
All right.
saying is that we've been trying to get you on here for, I mean, since all the solstice, the winter, the summer, the spring. We've been every time, you know. So hey, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. Basically, what me and Mental do is that we introduce ourselves, and then you
Hold
know
on,
who we are.
we got a special guest.
Hey, Miss
Oh,
Visa.
Miss Lisa.
Hey,
Peace.
Miss Visa.
Hey,
What's
what's
good,
up?
love?
What's up? Just chilling.
All right.
Okay, okay. Oh, so I was just going, Brother Haru, Visa is one of our, she's on all the time with us.
Okay.
We have a little crew that we go back and text forth and everything, and she's
Mm-hmm.
part of the family. But basically, what we do here is that for our first time guests, what we like to do is to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you start your spiritual journey? Do you have any spiritual services that you offer? And then after we start talking like that, spirit just jumps in, man, and then it's unbelievable how it takes off.
All right. All right. So I'll say that my name is Haru Kemet. I've been into knowledge probably since I was 14, 15. Always been a real studious reader. Um, Hip hop was really flowing back in the mid 80s. I'm from that
Mm,
era. I'm a
yeah.
70s kid.
Okay.
So 84, 85, of course, Run DMC,
Mm.
LL, Big Daddy Kane. X Clan was the group that really stuck out for me. I think I might have been maybe 17, 18, maybe.
To
But
the
just
east,
the
my
thing,
brother.
right? Just the things that, just the things that Brother Jay was talking and Professor X was talking about in their music, it was very influential. So me and about maybe 5 or 6 other brothers that I grew up with, 'cause I used to live down in Savannah Apartments. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with that. It's downtown. They call it Martin Luther King Park. So those
Yeah,
apartments,
yeah, yeah.
the ones,
Hey,
the ones that be,
it's so funny. We had a young lady. What's remember the lady you went to school with? She grew up in those apartments. Remember she was telling us about she was hiding in the bushes, mental.
Oh yeah.
I
Hold on,
forgot
we
her
got
name.
Miss Honey Pie on the that came to join us.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Miss Honey Pie?
Hello.
greetings.
Greetings, greetings.
We don't want it.
Oh,
We'll let you introduce yourself in 1 minute. Finish up, Mr. Haru. You was just
All
saying.
right.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
So basically, so me and about 5, 6 other guys, we used to get together on Saturdays and we would go over to Thurston because that's when you had Catawba Kingdom over
Uh-huh.
on Thurston, right next to the YMCA, right in that little area. So I knew Terry Shaka, but at the time I met her husband, her ex-husband at the time, Gerald Shaka. So me and my good friend, we used to go inside the bookstore every week. And initially, we always went to the religious section because I was really big into religion
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to know more about Christianity, Islam, etc. But Gerald, he pointed me and my good brother to the history section. So one of my first books was African at the Crossroads, and also The Black Man the Now and His Family by Dr. Ben.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
Yes.
we started getting books and we would meet up every Saturday for like maybe 5, 6 hours. And the goal was to read the book. Anything that really stood out, we would get into our debate session. So every Saturday, like from maybe like from
Was it the
11.
little African bookstore that was right there on Thurston?
Yep.
I
Right there.
remember. That's where I got my science from. That's where I got
Yeah.
my
Honey
emerald
Pie, can you
tablets and
mute your
all that
phone a
stuff
little
from.
bit?
Right. So
You're
we
getting
used to
an
get the
echo from Miss
books.
Honey Pie.
So we used to get the
Oh,
books and everything and read them. And sometimes the reading would lead to arguments and the cipher. And it was good because, we all got different points of view. And sometimes in order to crystallize your understanding, you got to get it from different vantage points.
facts.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we
Wow.
went through a number of different books for about 3 years. So we would meet up every Saturday and just rock out. And during that time, me and my brother, we was really big into history. So John Henry Clark was that guy. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the material,
Henry
because
Clark.
there was no YouTube back then.
Mm-mm.
There was really no internet back then. You know what I'm saying? So what you had to do is go to the bookstore. We had VHS tapes. We didn't
Yeah.
have no DVDs. You know
Mm-mm.
what I'm saying? So we used to get together and politic and just build. And that's what started my introduction. And I say maybe around 88, 89. I'm starting to look into Freemasonry. So I
Okay.
got some books from a Muslim brother, Mustafa Al Amin.
Okay.
And so I'm starting to do some reading on that. And that's when they had Sister Claire Muhammad School on North Street.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with that and everything. So I got some books out of that. And I think my first book that I ever bought was called In Search of the Path. It was written by a Muslim writer. And it was just a really good book. It was a foundational book. It wasn't really about Islam
Okay.
per se, but it was just about you getting on your own journey, your own path, and learning the things that you needed to learn.
Any Dr. York books?
Yeah, it has some Dr. York books.
Yeah, he had
One of
plenty
my,
of them in there.
yeah, absolutely. So
He
has some Dr.
and he
York
has
books.
the book. He got the book, Mental.
What book
Which
is
book?
that?
He got the white and blue book that we've been going through.
Oh, the Metu Netter.
Oh, right. So
1,
that was
2,
one of
3, 4. There's like 7. I think there's 7 of them all together. But go ahead.
correct. So I had so I say like around
Hold on.
1988.
Not to interrupt you. That's where I got my original Netu Netter run from that bookstore back in the 80s.
Oh, back over on
Maybe-
Thurston?
Yup, that's where I got my first one back then. And I read it so quick. Maybe in a week, brought it back, was like, bro, this shit is fire. What else you got?
Right.
And he was surprised that I had read it so quick and understood it. That's when I got volume 2. But go ahead.
So I'll say like between maybe 89 to like 91, I got introduced to Meduna Tear. The 1st book that I got from Ron Nefer Amen was an Afrocentric Guide to a Spiritual Union.
All right.
And so it was a very small book by the author. And he had another book, The Effects of What Marijuana Can Do to You. It was like a 30-page yellow book, had a brain and some weed on the front cover of the paperback. So it was just a good introduction. It was just telling you the effects that weed can have on your physicality. And so when I got introduced to Meduna Tear, volume 1, just a phenomenal book. Just a phenomenal book. And I ended up getting volumes 2, volume 3. And then I met a sister that lived in Henrietta. She's down in Maryland right now, I believe. Her name is Alcesai Raquez. And so she came out of the DC chapter of Sarah Says Society. So now I'm getting introduced to our Sarah Says Society.
Okay.
Hold on for 1 second. Say that again. Go ahead, bring the tablet. All right, she here? Attach. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
All right.
How you doing, Miss Visa?
I'm doing okay. How you
Attach.
guys doing?
She here?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm out and about, so I just gonna come off for a little bit. Check you guys out.
Family, give me 1 minute. My children get ready to leave with their mommy. Give me
ahead.
1
Okay,
second.
no problem.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
Everything
go ahead,
good
Miss
with you, Miss Visa?
Yes, sir. Everything's good. Just been having fun. Just having fun and doing my studies. That's all. And
That's
getting
what's up.
everything ready for next month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just been a lot of time with family, going out to parties with the children and taking them to the park and doing all kind of stuff like that, you know? Doing my
Enjoying
family a
yourself.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, with family. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
We out
Oh.
right now. We out right now. Side by side, we're gonna come on for a little bit and talk to everybody, see how everybody doing.
Okay. Yeah,
Can't
somebody
complain.
else was on. The young lady, she was on.
She was on, but she jumped
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
Missed
I
her.
think I think it was a connection. Maybe she'll come back on.
Yeah, I think maybe
Okay.
her connection was messed up.
Cause she was giving an echo. I just wanted her to mute it. I didn't want her to disappear, but I wasn't. I was just saying, can you mute your phone? Because it was giving an echo.
Uh-huh.
Maybe she'll come back on.
Oh, you
That's what's
invited
up.
her, Miss Visa?
No,
Oh, maybe brother Haru. Maybe he
Maybe brother Haru.
yeah, because
Mhm.
I just seen it pop up and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but besides that, it's funny that we got a lot of the signs from the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So back to what I was saying. So me and a sister, we used to just politic every day, whatever, on the phone. And she introduced me to Ryan F. Ryman and he met do Ryan Comment. He's like the Shechem of the DC chapter. So I got an opportunity to go down there to the DC area every now and then to some of the different events that Sarah Society had, and also Toronto.
Mm.
I go to Toronto probably every weekend for a study group on dealing with Sarah Society. So for probably a good maybe 4-5 years, did that. Still was big into my reading. That's when you had the Million Man March around 90, 95, 95.
Mhm.
So they even tried to have like a coalition for a period of time. But you know how things get, brothers, sisters, that they get together. We can't work it out the way we work it out because sometimes too much ego is involved at times. So it was a good attempt. But, for those that's on their path, you keep it moving.
Hey,
Don't
You still
stop.
study,
Can't
you
stop.
still
Don't stop.
learn. Right. You still study, you still learn, you still connect with people. And so for me, I got it. I was in Sarah Society for like good, maybe about 15 years.
oh
Not
Lord.
necessarily, maybe not like an actual practitioner down in Brooklyn and also DC and then Toronto, part of their spiritual community. But I was good with readings, doing oracle readings and things of that sort. And but I felt something was missing. So I would say a little later on, I started looking into Ifa. Just because I just needed to be more grounded spiritually. And so I have a godfather that's down in Florida. He used to live here in Rochester. Some of y'all may know him as Baba Kokai Sarah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
I took a couple of his online. I was on a couple of his online. Shabaka and a
Correct.
young lady out of
Okay.
Syracuse and Ahmed. They down. They all about the same. They politic together a lot.
Correct. Yeah.
But I
So
didn't
I'm
know he
in.
moved though until like maybe a couple months ago. I seen it on his thing
Yes.
and I see that he moved to Florida.
Yeah. So Kokai's, he's been down there for like 20 plus years. So he has a good, strong plug in Rochester. Me, Stigalo,
Yeah,
Stigs,
Stiglo.
I'm
Yeah.
in, Shabaka, Sham.
Yeah, Sham. That's
Yep.
she live in Syracuse or something, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've been around a lot of different circles. You have A.B. True Blackman, Howard Eagle, that's here in Rochester.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, just studying and just writing. I'm big into writing. I would say if I had to share my gifts with anyone, it will be my writing.
Okay.
Definitely a good writer. I like to
You working
politic
on
with
any
people.
books or anything?
Yeah, I have a book that should have really been out a long time ago. The name of it is called Earthbound. I was thinking about X-Clan back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And my first daughter, Sensoray, just the way she came into the world, it was just a beautiful expression of a father's love to his daughter. And so my daughter, she's the one who gave me that initial
spark
to write this book. And so my book deals with love stories, deals with history. I deal with the future. So I'm still in the process of getting that book done. It's just, sometimes life takes you in different directions and sometimes you got to kind of flow with that direction.
Mental Mental wrote a book and he working on the second one now too.
Overstanding Darkness.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Gotta overstand.
Gotta overstanding darkness, right? So
I got a question though. Can you go into the society that you was a part of? to give us a little background information on everything that you partook in everything?
I would say that with all Saracen society, they're real big into, being vegetarian or being vegan. So if you look at the palmetto root or the tree of life, that the term Geb is at the base of the tree. And so if your health is not in order, then how can one grow spiritually?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's no different than if you're going to the gym and you're working out. If you're not putting the right things into your body, you're not going to get the maximum benefit for your body. So change of thinking, of course, has to be there. The discipline that one should have with eating and getting good quality rest and engaging in sexual activity, not excessively, but you engage the way you're supposed to as a man. But at the end of the day, it's about preserving your life force.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have no life in you, then what are you? You're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, when I got into the society, it was really big on meditation. So I've done a lot of meditation back in the day. I haven't done it as much as I should at this point in my life. But meditation, eating good or eating clean, and just trying to live my art. Living truth, justice, balance, order, harmony. Trying to live that in your day-to-day is challenging, but it's rewarding.
Are you still vegetarian?
No.
Okay.
I left the vegan and vegetarian thing alone because it's too expensive and I don't got the money for it. And realistically, say it again.
It's boring.
That too.
Oh, I know. I was a vegetarian. I'm with you.
I'm trying to get there though. I'm trying to get there.
My thing is this, if you eat clean, it's like if you're doing fish, maybe do beef once a month or whatever the case may be. I do chicken breast. I don't mess with veins and cartilage and in the wings and all that stuff. But give me some chicken breast, I'll rock out with it. Okay. But my thing is, vegan and vegetarianism, it has its place, but to be excessive with it, it will really show up in your body. You end up losing weight. You end up losing the nutrition that you really need, despite you thinking that you're getting what you're getting being vegan. But at the same time, how can I say this?
Because Shabaka, I think he pescatarian though, right?
Right.
I think he
dealing with fish. Right.
Yeah,
and see, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
The fish piece is good. I think vegan is just extreme.
Okay.
It has this place, somebody to say, hey, I want to do vegan. But I guess my thing is, like, when you go into a grocery store, the most healthiest parts of the grocery store is the veggies, the fruits, the grains. That's on the outside when you go into, like, if you go into a Tops or to a Wegmans. Everything that's in the aisle, I always call it Frankenfood because it's in a box. It was made out of somebody's warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you're trusting, unbeknownst to the customer, you're trusting the organization that's putting out this food and you're going to the store to buy it. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is the food stuff in the aisles, while it has its place, it's convenient, it may be even priced right, whatever the case may be, to get your food on. But if you really want to just get back to the basics, rock out with the fruits, rock out with the veggies. There's a lot of different combinations you can make with that.
Remember, they done took food to a whole nother level. You can eat food when you're sad, eat food when you're happy, eat food when you're excited, eat food when you're bored. They done took food to a whole new level. You know what I'm saying? Any emotion can invoke food-orientated something. Do you fast? That's what did the most for me.
I used to fast. I used to do a liver fast every springtime because, like, during the early 2000s, I met a doctor who was into Ayurvedic medicine. He was an Ayurvedic physician. And so between Ayurveda and Chinese medicine, those are two things that I was learning really heavy back in early 2000. I say like from 2002 to like maybe,
traditional Chinese medicine?
Yep. I was actually thinking about going to school out west to a school called Bastyr in Seattle that had a really good Chinese medical program, as well as there's a school here in Seneca Falls, is the New York Chiropractic College. they have a 4-year degree program in Chinese medicine, and so you learn about the 5-element theory, which
Right.
is foundational work for the Chinese
Uh-huh.
medicine. So I went from reading those texts to actually seeing patients for a period of time, and my doctor, he was my guide, and I had a really good hands-on with patients because for me, I'm a big dreamer. So sometimes I would see diseases in the body in my dreams.
Mm.
And I will wake up out of my dream trying to figure out, okay, what is the, how can I say this? What is the benefit, or what can I use as a cure? So quote unquote cure for the particular ailment that exists. And so I would, wake up out of my dream, go to the books, and then confer with my doctor just to make sure that I was on the right page. He said, yo, how you learning this? I said, I'm learning through dreaming.
Wow.
Facts.
You know?
What do you think about Western medicine?
It has its place because we exist in this world, and the people that
Everything has its place. Come on,
Right.
we can do better than that.
I would say this. That until people start taking a holistic approach with themselves, because everybody who comes into the world has a different frequency, a different vibration as it relates to the food that we eat. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, if you're eating the quote unquote right foods, that's one thing. But Western medicine, we know it deals with symptomology.
Right.
It deals with the branches of the tree. It doesn't deal with the root.
No.
They may be aware of the root, but we know that the root is nature. And we also know that since they take nature and they bastardize nature, that's why we have drugs.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Instead of medicine.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So we know that your foods are your medicines, your herbs are your medicines.
Right.
Going to the doctor is like last resort. It should be a real last resort, because even in ancient China, they had what they call barefoot doctors. So the barefoot doctor, he would come through town and he would politic with everybody, whatever case may be. And the goal for that doctor was, I'm going to treat your ailment for the next season. So we're in the summer now. So I'm going to treat your fall ailments now in the summer. So when fall comes, you don't have any issues. That's when I get paid.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So if I did my thing with you, then in fall season, you would pay me because you saw the benefit of what I gave to you during the summertime.
Okay.
Well, we know they're just practicing medicine. They say it. They tell you what's going on.
Absolutely.
We just don't want to pay attention to it.
So my question to you, because you asked me about Western medicine, I guess, what was your reasoning for asking me in terms of, like, do I subscribe to it? Do I embrace it?
Just that now that you know that there's a holistic view to, how someone comes from a point of health to a point of disease. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? You know that now. So now when I look at Western medicine, I look at it as buffoonery, just crap. All right.
Correct.
There's a worse way to try to fix anything.
Right.
So that's why I really asked with, look at them people going to the doctor knowing they ain't going to get treated right, even if the doctor thinks they're treating them right, because they're learning the wrong thing. They start from a point of sickness, not a point of health.
Right.
What are we talking about? How can you even do that?
That's right. But think about it. We live in Western culture. Most people want to be Americans more than anything else. European Americans, we want to think like these people. We want to act like these people.
Whatever they doing, we doing.
Unless we getting discriminated on, now we want to be black, African, whatever, whatever the case may be. Right.
That's facts.
We don't want to be nobody else until we get discriminated on. Now we raise up our flag and the black fist. And it's like, no, you're supposed to be handling your business, knowing who you are. Because if you know who you are, you're not going to get into bed with these people. Metaphorically, physically, whatever.
If you're running off what looks good, feels good, tastes good, smells good, sounds good.
Absolutely.
You're going to abandon your own principles, more or less your friends.
Absolutely.
You'll do anything for the money. And that's unfortunately, you do have some good doctors and some bad ones. I mean,
Correct.
just like you got good police and bad police.
That's right.
Hopefully, what I like to say is if I ever had to come in contact, my spirit would lead me to a good doctor, or my spirit would have a good cop pull me over, something of that nature.
Correct.
Because my ancestors are always looking out for me. They paved the way before I even get there. So
Indeed.
you know what I'm saying? That's what I know.
That's right.
Me and Jazzy talk about it ain't nothing to believe no more. Either you know or you don't know.
No, you don't.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So we're in a whole new realm.
That's
but
right.
most of us aren't trying to transition over to the knowing realm. They're still caught in belief.
Because knowing means that you're going to be responsible and you're going to be held accountable for what you do. See, when you believe, you can believe anything.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can believe anything. But when you get into the knowledge or the knowing of yourself or things that surround you, that means that you have an investment or you partaking in an investment. So that means you have to be held accountable and be responsible for the things that you're learning and living. Because really, like you said earlier about Westerners, they practice medicine, but there's groups of people all over this planet that live medicine.
Yes, that's the difference.
They'll go into that forest, they'll go into that backyard, grab X, Y, and Z, and make it happen for them.
Boom.
That's where I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get more knowledge of, because I've been dabbling in herbs and teas and everything. Like my pantry is full of herbs, so I'm dibbling and dabbling. Yeah, so that's what I trying to not trying, making like sea moss, the elderberry syrup, the different variety of teas. At my home, my daughter, she'll go ahead and say, "Dad, I need this kind of tea. I need that kind of tea."
That's right.
And that's, I do want to go get some type of educational, on it too. Even though spirit is leading me, I still want to have, I want to get some of the knowledge of the book just to go ahead and enhance what I already know. That's why I was really, what you said about going to that school. I thought, man, I'm like, that sounds very interesting. That the Chinese medicine one, that right there.
Remember, I told you about that, Jazzy?
Yeah.
Traditional China. That was another book I read way back in the day, probably 20 years ago. Man, It opened my whole eyes up to, because what it really did? It started to show there was a God. It started to show me how everything was one thing connected. You know how, because when it went from the lungs to the heart, to the spleen, to the liver, to the kidney, and it was one cycle that kept going around. And each of those represented your metal, earth, wood, metal, you know what I'm saying? And it just compared it all and showed how the whole inner body works as one. And how one organ could be either overactive or underactive. You know what I'm saying? Because you read it, and it's always going to be the next organ that goes to that. It may have the issue while another organ is showing the effect.
Right, absolutely.
That just blew my mind, bro. It just, because it showed the unity of everything.
Let me ask you a question. Are y'all familiar with, there's a book by a Florida writer, I think he lives in Florida still possibly, Mawada Ashby. He has a book done with Kemetic yoga. And but it's really like a nutritional book on holistics and things that
sounds familiar.
It's a big book.
Videotape Kemetic yoga.
Yep, Kemetic yoga.
That sounds familiar. I can't remember if that was in my archives or not.
I think I had the book. It may be in my attic. What I'll do is if I do have the book, I'll take a picture, throw it on Facebook.
Yeah, just so we
that
can
kind
see
of thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah,
but what about Lilo Africa? African Holistic Health.
I heard of
that. I do have.
Yeah.
Okay,
I heard it.
I got that.
I know it's been through a couple different revisions over the past 10, 15 years.
But I got one of the later ones, one of the newer ones.
What about Nutricide by the same author?
Wow.
No.
Lilo Africa?
Yep. He wrote a book called Nutricide, and on the front cover, it's of a grave site That's
Mhm.
I think how he says it like he says so and so ate themselves to death and like
Oh
literally
wow.
Hate
they're in the
themselves
grave.
to death. Facts.
Right.
I mean,
I
right now
I'm
I'm in
getting
the
caught
such
up
thing.
on
Oh,
books now. So see, I'm the late bloomer with books. So
Okay.
Mental is the one that he's been telling me this book, that book, this book. I'm catching up still. So like even though you saying these, I'm gonna when I go and watch the rewind, I'm gonna write
Okay.
everything down and look them up so
mhm.
I can go ahead because I'm trying to become a more avid reader because like even in the first part of my journey I listened to more audio because the way my life was set up at the time I was
Right.
working overnights and I was able to be hands free so I listened
Okay.
to a lot of different audio books and and lectures and that but now I want to go ahead and put my hands on the actual books so that's why I said I'm catching up with the books now so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I
at the
mean,
point where I done put all these books into actual science, bro. I could probably reverse aging if I wanted to. Real
hey,
talk.
you look
Only
young to
because
me, family.
I all I do, I go through the breathing technique, right? I use restraint breath. Do you know what that is? It's in the metal netter. The
Like
restraint
do
breath, the
you talking
pot
like
belly. When you
Dumo breathing, fire breathing.
fire breathe, yes.
Yeah.
I use the fire breathing, but listen how I did it. I use the fire breathing, but I go through each chakra with each mantra in each color. So the root chakra, navel chakra, solar plex, heart, each color, and I go through. So when I start, I'm regular, but when I'm done, I'm in a full sweat.
mm,
Sounds about right. I
Almost.
remember back in the 2000s when I was going to Toronto for the study group for Sarah Set.
Mhm.
They had this brother out of the society where he was doing qigong practices because I learned qigong
mm,
Mhm.
practices back then, and it helped me a lot. It's like qigong wakes your body up, wakes your mental up, wakes you up spiritually. And there it was just one particular video that I remember, and he did like maybe 10 to 15 different exercises with breathing and subtle
Mhm.
movements, like subtle yoga movements or yoga postures or asanas. And you will be dripping in sweat.
mm.
You didn't have to get the workout because you just got the workout. You know what I'm saying?
Did
It was
you
just
ever see
crazy.
the manual, the five yoda the yoga techniques that's actually supposed to reverse aging?
No, not even
I
so. I'm not
actually
familiar
got the
with it.
manual and I used to do it. I used to do it every day. I used to do it every day for like I say about 6, 7 months.
Okay.
But back then I was young, so I really never thought it did anything
Right.
until I got older.
Right.
Mm.
Then I started to feel the effects of the spiritual stuff I used to do 10 years ago.
Right. That's
Okay.
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Breathing. Now instead of everything, I try to make all my breaths a fire breath.
Mm.
But keep it balanced too, because while we're doing fire breathing, there's other peace, brother. There's other elements of breathing that. Okay, I'll say it like this: whenever you do Dumo breathing or fire breathing, ideally should always be done in the morning time because you rise up like the sun, so
Mm.
your body should be like the sun in the morning.
Mm.
At nighttime, you should never do fire breathing at night because it'll keep you up all night when your
Mm.
body should be at rest.
Mm.
Okay.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
never had a
So
problem falling asleep.
That sounds
that's
it
good
makes
then.
sense
No, I
though.
don't. Real talk.
That's good.
I think I'm so energized when I'm up. I mean, even when I wake up, I kind of wake up like, wow, the lights are on, baby. Let's
That's all right.
roll.
That's all right. That's all right.
That
But when
That's
I
all
that
go
right.
to sleep,
makes
gone. My
That's
wife
right.
that
can
makes
be
sense
mad
though
with
what
me
he's
how
saying
fast I go to
because
sleep.
the whole thing is operating the law of nature. That makes
Correct.
sense to me. You see what I'm saying? The scholarship behind that makes it when you said that because like you said in the morning you rise
Hmm.
and then when you going asleep it makes sense to go ahead and do a meditation that's gonna calm everything. Can you read that mental?
It says, peace to the gods.
Oh, okay. Who is
Okay.
that? I can't see. I can't read it.
Kenyo.
Okay. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace.
Peace, brother. Peace.
Brother Haru, I want to ask you this too. Can you tell me how was your awakening? When you first realized your awakening, how was it for you? And
Okay,
what
say
was
that
some of
one
the
more time. I had somebody pass by on the show. I couldn't even hear you. Say that again.
okay. How was can you go through a little bit of your awakening? When you first realized like being the light was on and you know, a little bit about that.
Okay. I would say that for myself, I've always been like a rebel, like even in my family or the
Hmm.
the black sheep of the family,
Black
so to
sheep.
speak.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
think my
Me
first
too.
awakening took place when I was 7. I
Oh
remember
wow.
I had a very vivid dream
Those
of
dreams.
I was in a room. I was in a white room. I had all white on. I had a white pencil and a white sheet of paper, and I decided to draw the human body. And something in me told me to breathe on this drawing. And when I breathed on the drawing, this human being popped up off of the
Oh
drawing table.
wow.
Okay.
And it wasn't shocking to me. It felt natural.
Mm.
And because back then, my mom, she bought a lot of Britannica encyclopedias for me and
Hmm.
my brother back then. So I was
Hmm.
really big into reading encyclopedias, going to the library during that time frame. And I remember there was a encyclopedia where it gives you like a kaleidoscope of the human body, as far as the
Okay.
blood, the tissues, the muscles, the skin, and it was like I said, it was like a kaleidoscope, and that kind of I recalled it from memory in my dream, and was able to draw out the details of the heart, the small and large intestines,
Oh wow. Okay.
and that was like one of the most significant things for me back then. Um, Also, I was reading the Bible back at that time when I was younger because my mom she ordered these Bible books. They were light light blue, yellow lettering Bible books, like children's
Hmm.
books.
Yeah, I had those when I was younger.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
you know what
All
I'm
the
remember those
talking
different
about,
too.
Bible stories. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
That no
I
one
had
read.
those books, and I'm trying to think. There was a situation where I was living in Savannah Apartments,
Hmm.
and this being made out of clouds came down to the parking lot, and whoever it touched, either you would die on the spot or you would ascend.
Mm.
You would ascend in the sky, and that kind of lasted for a while. And I had that dream reoccurring for like maybe like 5 more years.
Wow, 5 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, I had very vivid dreams. I feel like I always wake up in my dream.
Mm.
So for me, one of the ways of
For both
awakening
of
for
you.
myself was if you're ever inside your house in your dream, try to turn the light on. If
Mm.
the light doesn't turn on, you know that you're in a dream.
Okay.
Just like going into the bathroom and trying to turn on the water in your sink, but nothing comes out.
Mm.
So for me, I'm very active in my dreams. So I know when I'm in
So
a
hey,
dream
so
state.
you
Lucid
do the
dreaming,
astral, yeah, lucid and astral travel. So
astral
you
projection.
yeah.
So I was doing
So
that really young before I knew the terminology of astral projection and lucid dreaming. I used to do that when I was younger.
mm.
And every now and
Do
then I still can do it on the weekends. Usually Saturday is my day or my me day where I can just like oversleep and just
mhm.
get into me. So usually Saturday is a day where I could just oversleep and wake up in my dreams and start to do some of the work that I want to do with myself spiritually.
Okay, okay.
But I usually I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. No, you go
No,
ahead.
I was just going to say that usually for myself, I draw from a lot of different schools of thought.
Hmm.
IFA is my main school at this point in time in my present life.
Hmm.
But I could rock with Sarah said. I could rock with the Nuwabians. I used to study Dr. York stuff. I knew a brother that was,
Uh-huh.
who used to go down to Kadesh down in
Hmm.
Edenton, Georgia back in the day and everything,
Hmm.
learning what he needed to learn. So for me, I could draw from any school of
Any
thought
source. You're right, right, right,
because we are that source. It's just all
right.
about it's all about where you are in your life that resonates with you at that time.
Well, I think you get to a point where you start to realize you're only remembering what you
Correct.
forgot.
Correct.
I mean, ain't nothing new.
Correct.
So
I'm really interested to see this book that you're gonna have on, man, because the stuff that you're saying is like it's kind of powerful, especially about the part where you said that the on a piece of paper that it popped up off the paper. Um, so like a lot of times when during the awakening process, a lot of people are afraid. I've noticed that. And then like some of the things like Brother Panic and um, some of the other teachers that I listened to, they used to always say that it's only another part of you,
Correct.
so
right.
and then when you can go ahead and look at something and then you look at it for face value and you're just like, wow, that's just another part of me. And then the fear, then it dissipates, and then you can get to really see, the spirit for what it is. But a
Right.
lot of people get turned away. If they would have seen it jump off the paper or the clouds, like you said, coming down and touching, and and then somebody would ascend, or either, that's enough for, especially a young child at that age. That's a lot to go ahead and take in. Man,
I was
you
I was
was brilliant.
intrigued more than anything. I don't think for myself personally, I was scared. I was
Uh-huh.
more like I was curious
Okay.
because if it's occurring inside my spirit or in my dream world, so to speak, then it's
Hmm.
meant for me to see it. It's meant for me to experience it. So what
Hmm.
lessons can I learn from this
Hmm.
dream experience? That's how I took it as a young person. So
Right.
I
See, if
never
you'd
had
have been
a
wrapped up in too much religion, you probably would have been too scared to even go into it.
true, but I would say this with my mother. She wasn't really big on us going to church
Uh-huh.
when I was a teenager, even when I was younger. More of my family was big into church. Back I'll say between the ages of maybe 9 and 12.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Me and my brother Michael, we would never force to go to church on Sundays. If we got up and we wanted to go, we could go. If we wanted to stay home and chill out and get ready for school on Monday, that's what we did.
Hmm.
Oh,
So my
nice.
mom, so I thank my mom, God bless her soul. I thank her for not pushing the church agenda. But
You
if she
blessed
did,
because I had to go. There was
I
no
had to
ifs,
go
ands,
to.
and buts. Hey, I mean, even as almost an adult, my dad was like, he ain't play, man. It was just like, you living under my roof, you going, unless you had to
right,
work,
right, that's right, that's
So,
right.
but my dad is a pastor, so that's the thing. So, and now that I look back, I am thankful, you know, for the structure that, because now I look back and I'm like, wow, you know, rather that's his knowing or his belief, he truly embraced it, and
Correct,
he so I can't be mad, you know what I'm saying?
correct,
But now, and then the whole thing is now, like, as I got older and then I branched away from everything, now he looks at it and he doesn't judge me for the decisions that, and that's why I said I can respect that. Some people, like, like how you did, it was a young lady that we had on our thing. Her mom, Bibby, Miss Bibby, remember, Mental, when she was saying that how her mom allowed her to go ahead and she did all the religions. I mean, she didn't
Right.
force her to do one. She went to Jehovah Witness. She studied the lost books. She went through everything.
Allowed her to
okay,
And
do her own, make up her own mind.
yeah, that's you don't get that too often either. So like when you hear your story, how your mom did that, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because most kids I knew that went to my church, we had to be
right.
there. You
When
had
I
to be there.
started when I started learning and reading all my books, my mom told me, bro, you gonna go crazy reading all of them. You need to slow down there, bro. You're
Right.
doing too much.
But
So
it's funny. It's funny like that because I remember, I used to, do my studies and everything, and my mom says, are you concerned about, going to hell? I said, hell doesn't exist.
mm,
Uh oh.
I said, I know.
Uh-oh.
I said, Mom, I know we're going to disagree because you come up, in the Christianity and you got the concept of good and evil, heaven and hell. But I can
mhm,
tell you that heaven is what you make,
mhm,
who you make it with. but the planet itself is heaven. We have to look at this planet for what it really is. We know what we've seen in the world. We know what's been programmed and pushed, the agendas in the world. But I told my mom, I said, I'm not scared of hell. I said, I feel like the conditions that we go through as a people, that's hell.
Facts.
I said, you lived through the 60s movement. I wasn't born yet. I was born 1970. I came into the world a few years after. But my point is, the stuff that I saw on PBS during, February, during the Black History Month stuff back then, and you seeing black men and women and kids getting attacked by police dogs and water hoses from those fire departments all across this country. I said, that's hell. That's how I looked at it. I said, I can't imagine being in a hellish condition, being under the ground and having some red guy with a pitchfork. I said, that's not moving me.
Being hung.
Right. I said, that's right. Being hung, that's hell.
Come on.
I said, but someone under the ground and going to bathe you in a big pot.
I
said, I don't believe in that.
Question. Well, wait a minute. You said there's going to be fire, right? And brimstone? Wait a minute. What do we need for fire? We need some wood. We need some kindling. We need air. Because I know if I go up off the earth, ain't none of that.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just saying. So it must be something physical.
Right.
If we're talking about hell.
Right.
Mentally. Right.
So, so for my thing is, I don't want to, be argumentative with my mother. So I said, you're entitled to believe what you've been exposed to. I said, I can't blame you. I said, you've been around grandma and granddad, and they've been part of the church. Right. They've been a part of the church for 50, 60 years. So I said, I'm not here to argue with you on that. I said, I just have a different perspective that works for me. And I said, I could talk to anybody. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Buddhist or Hindu.
That's what I used to tell them. If you was over there in Arabia, you would be Islamic. If you were in Japan, you'd believe in Zennism. If you was in South America, it'd be the Orishas. You were born in. No one chooses their religion.
Correct.
Let's be real. No one really said, yes, I come out the womb, I'm a Christian, a Baptist, a Zenist, a Muslim. Come on. It's pushed upon you.
You had to be molded into a certain thing, So, Brother Haru, I want to ask you, do you do any, I know you said Ifa, do you do any rituals like moon or,
I have my shrine, my Baba, I end up getting my shrine, my warrior shrine about 3 years ago. Normally we go down to Florida to do our rituals, despite you could do stuff here, but how can I say this? It's always good to be a part of a spiritual community that does ritual work, because it's just not you. It's more than just you. So it's one thing to have. I have my shrine down in my basement to do my one-on-one work. But when I really need that energy, that power, that ashe, I need to get with my Baba. I need to get with my other brothers and sisters that's part of the Ifa community, because it's more powerful, it's more magnanimous, and you learn differently, like how we learning from each other right now. Because I could read a book to y'all, but our conversations with each other is more profound because we're having organic relationships. Even the stuff that we do online, it has its place, but I would rather see my brothers in person, because what we talk about in person is different than what we doing online right now. True. You know what I'm saying? But again, we do what we can do based on the time that we're given and, in our schedules. So I'm glad that the technology exists where we can buy 3 people on a podcast, or 15 people on a podcast.
He's in Florida.
Oh, you're in Florida, family?
Now. Yeah, I moved down to Tampa about 7 years ago.
That's what's up. Yeah,
so it's cold, but I couldn't do it.
So it's good that we can politic and chop it up and build online. But one of the greatest gifts is where we're all each other's company, and we're feeling each other's vibes, feeling each other's energy, temperaments, and we're learning in a way that you can't get online.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate us being able to be online to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. This was good, man. This was good, bro. I want to we've been on just about an hour, just about right now, so I don't want to hold you know too long, but because we go forever and ever and ever and ever. I mean,
I got
sometimes.
some time. My children
Okay,
they going with their
okay,
mom until tomorrow, so
okay,
I'm good. We got a little time.
okay.
Well,
So
because when it,
go ahead, Mental.
I was just gonna say, because when it comes down to healing, that's when I like to be a self healer. I never get sick, but even so, and try to fine tune. We all scientists when it comes to the spiritual stuff, trying to figure
Absolutely.
out what works and what don't work.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
right now I'm trying to use everything, what I say, how I see things, every color, everything has to be in a spiritual alignment.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? But it has
Yep.
to be natural, because the whole thing about knowing, when you get to the realm of knowing, when you're not thinking about stuff.
Correct.
It
You just
comes
doing.
naturally.
Right.
you
And
just
Absolutely.
people, that's the craziest thing. You all understood it, but for someone, what do you mean you ain't thinking about it? Yeah. All thoughts get paused.
Right.
Knowing comes in. It's known. It's there.
That's
It's
right. That's right.
outside of our thinking mechanism.
You know what? It's kind of like, so if I had a ball and I shot it at you, you know what I mean? You wouldn't even think about it. You just do like this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's an automatic reflex about knowing. It's just, you don't have to really think about it. Once you know, it's just a part of who you are. You know what I
Right.
mean? Spirit. That's the one thing what I'm learning about spirit is that, like I tell Mental all the time. I was like, I don't know, since my awakening and things that has happened in my life, I I can't see going back and being another type of way. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just so refreshing. Just like when you rise in the morning, and then you know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying, you get that meditation on, and then like I do want to try the raw fruit foods and stuff. I just want to try it. You know what I mean? Like I haven't done beef and pork about 30 years now.
Okay.
So it's been chicken, fish, and turkey. My
Okay.
daughter, she doesn't like meat really at all. So I'm trying to get to a point. She's only 8, but she's pushing me, and then it's open in
Hmm.
my mind where it's just like I want to do, fruits, vegetables, but I just want to limit the meats and stuff too.
That's right.
I want to try it. I want to try it. Like Shabaka, he's been for years. I mean,
Yeah.
fish. Like we have cookouts or we go somewhere. He's like, and then I almost forget, because like we used to do shows together. And,
Hmm.
he started out like back. We started together in 94, 95, and he filmed all the shows that I did. And then I would just order food for everybody, and then
That's
I
right.
have to remember that, you know, he'd be like, it ain't nothing here I can eat. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
That's
I'm
right.
trying to get in that mind frame too. So, but like I said, each day that I wake up, and I can't imagine doing anything else.
Well,
It's just
because
like, go ahead.
I was gonna say that a big part of spirit is acceptance.
Mm,
When you accept who you are, what you about, your
mhm.
flaws, your successes, your liabilities, the things that things that make you question stuff. When you come to that level of acceptance without fear, without worrying about what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, you're going to be good.
That's the part, not
You're
worrying.
right. The worrying will kill you. It will
Right.
stress you out to the point where you don't have no balance, no stability within yourself. So for me, I can say that all the stuff that I've learned, stuff that I've went through, good and bad. Sometimes I went through stuff intentionally bad just to see the result of it.
Hmm.
I don't forsake it because it's making me who I am, or who am I becoming. I'm
Hmm.
always in a state of becoming. I'm always transforming. I'm always evolving.
Elevating. Right.
Right.
Absolutely, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Either
So
getting better or getting worse.
correct.
Hmm.
Sometimes you
Hmm.
do a little bad. Sometimes you do a little good. Sometimes you do a little bit of both.
Hmm.
But it's about how you present yourself when you're coming in contact with people, situations, et cetera, et cetera.
Hmm.
but you're not gonna beat me in the head because maybe I pissed you off 5 years ago, and you still hold on to that. You better let that
You're
go.
You're not even that person anymore.
Correct.
That's the thing. What I be trying to tell
Correct.
people, they come to me and then they like, well, I'm like, dude, you don't really know me anymore because I'm not that person anymore.
Look, I don't
That
even know
person
that
died.
person no more.
Right.
Okay, I don't even know him no more.
That's right, mental. That's right. That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? I don't even know that person no more.
Right. That's right.
So when people sometimes when in conversation when they come and they start bringing up, I'm like, wow, really? And it's kind of like, because I'm like, wow, I can't even think on that same wave path anymore. My mind frame is just totally different.
That's right. I mean, and it should be because, if we're afforded the opportunity to wake up every morning, that means we have another 24 hours in the day to learn some things, to grow through some things, to leave some things alone, to divorce ourselves from situations. And that's part of you living. I don't want to do the same thing every day unless there's something I can learn and grow from. And, some days are going to be stand still, but standing still has its place too.
Facts.
Standing still has its place. So I don't necessarily focus on what you might have did to me 10 years ago, because if my mind is still back in your past or our past, that's not helping me in the present.
Because like standing still is sometimes getting out your own way, allowing, so that makes a lot of sense what you're saying. So standing still, and that actually.
Well,
go ahead, Mental.
I was just gonna say, when you stand still, that means you need to stop what you're doing and observe. Stop and look. Stop moving. Stop trying to go left, right, forward, back, up, down, in or out. Just stop. Boom.
I was just about to say that. MC Light.
Boom. Stop, look, and listen. Yes. Because what I was saying, we were talking about the whole disease thing. Your body tries to communicate to you when you're sick and what you have to do. The problem is we don't know the language. I mean, we could easily, when our grandmothers, they knew the language of the body, so they knew to go out there, grab that weed, get this twig off this tree.
Right.
I'm gonna add this little ingredient, some ginger or whatever, and make it into a tea. 2 hours later, you feeling great. Not 24, not 3 days later, not sick all night. Nope, a few hours later, because they knew the language of the body.
I'm gonna give an example. When I was really big into Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine, I remember I got sick one winter because I used to jog in the wintertime because my body temperature was I was a lot hotter during the winter season. So I would run, try to get a mile or two in, got these heavy ass boots on and trying to run through the snow, working it out. But in the process of doing that, I ended up getting sick. So I had a temperature like of 103. And I was on the phone with my doctor friend. So I went to go see him, and I got this finger right here, and he did some bloodletting. So he pierced my skin in the corner. Let me go, trying to look at the camera. He pierced it like on one side, 3 drops came out, took my my temperature away, and I was right back down to 98.6. Wow. And by the time I left his office, you wouldn't even know I was sick.
I believe it. Well, I know it.
So learning the mechanics of the body, learning the dynamics of the body, and understanding how you can take that heat out of your blood in very simple ways once you know how to do it. But, once he showed me, I said, okay, this works. And I haven't done it since, but I haven't also got sick either during the wintertime either, because I'm really big about getting my rest. I don't really want to hang out with nobody during the wintertime. I want to just be like a bear and go to sleep. Don't even bother me.
Don't do nothing. I'm good. I'm hibernating.
Right, because, my thing is, during the summertime, we should be active. So what you should ideally ingest, of course, lots of water, fruit, watermelons, whatever. In terms of the solid foods, you can rock out with the meats and all that kind of stuff, but if you're active like the sun during the summertime, then you should be always on the go. You want stuff that's going to fuel your system. Now, fall, wintertime come, you want to
But
pack
that's
it
when
on a
you
little
can,
bit.
but that's when you can do all your fruits and vegetables during the summertime. Because if you're out in the sun, you're getting your vitamin A and D from the sun,
Correct.
downloads and energy anyway.
Correct.
Especially
Correct.
if you're out in the sun. All you trying to do is stay hydrated.
Correct. Correct.
You know what I'm saying? You just want, and what's the best water was that H3, H2,
Right.
H3MO, whatever.
H3O.
Yes, I love when he said that. That's the best water. And if you think about, he was talking about the process of that water coming from the sun through photosynthesis up throughout the ground of the root to make that fruit water.
Right. Right.
And I was like, wow, that's another miracle process. That's how just reminds me of a process of an entity that's beyond our conception. But go ahead.
Correct. So for me, during that time frame, during the wintertime, don't want to really get out much. I want to just really stay grounded. So meditation, oversleeping. Sometimes you can oversleep and hallucinate and oversleeping.
Yeah.
Just like if you lack the sleep, you can hallucinate. You can hallucinate if you oversleep. But there's work you can still do. You can still remote viewing, astral projection. You could do all those things when you undersleep. If you're disciplined and you're focused and you got intentions on trying to do some work, some inner work.
So
shadow work. Exactly.
Do you dream more? Your dreams more vivid in the winter or in the summer?
I think for me, it depends on what's going on out here.
Okay.
So if there's a lot of quote unquote stressors that's going on in my awakened life, work, home, children, bills, all those things could have an effect on my dream state at times. Sometimes I'll get my answers in my dreams on how to combat what's out here through my dreams. But that's the intention that I have when I go to sleep. If I'm going to sleep with a problem in my mind, I'm going to work it out in my dream. So when I wake up, for the first maybe 2 minutes when I first wake up, I don't move at all. I keep still so I can recall or recapitulate what I dreamed, have a little pad next to me, write something down, and then I can kind of, flush it out throughout the day, depending if it really impressed upon my spirit in my dream state. I don't get that all the time.
I want to get to the point where I like how you said that you awake in your dream. That part right there, that speaks volumes right there. When you, like you said, you could turn on the faucet, nothing comes out, or you turn on the light, your conscience like, hey, okay, I'm here now. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I know this is my dream state, and then, walk through and accept life for what it is during it. I want to be there.
Well, you can wake up during your dream when you realize the only difference is most of us when we're like sleep and we can't wake up is because we're not, the focus and the consciousness ain't there. If you know you ain't lived in a house in 15 years and you're walking through that house, you see what I'm saying? Certain things should trigger you, be like, oh shit. Oh, I'm dreaming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But sometimes it's not as easy. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, Mr. Haru.
No, you good, family. What I was going to say is that even in the dream state, for myself, if I want to know if I'm in a dream, I will run off my porch. And if I float when I'm running off, then I know that I'm in my dream state. So I'll do things intentionally with the mindset that, hey, if I jump off of this, let me see if I can show it to you. Can I reverse this camera? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah. Nope, I took it off. Can you reverse your camera on the podcast or no?
I don't think so. That's not one of the options. Yeah.
All right. So let me see. So these little steps right here. In my dream state, if I run off of that right now and I float across this man's fence, I know I'm dreaming. So I go with so for me, I go in with the intention that when I go to bed at night, what am I going to focus on in my dream state? Because I'm trying to actually get there as soon as possible.
Okay.
So usually it only takes me like 5 minutes to fall under.
Okay.
Once I'm under and I look at some of the familiarity, then that's good. But again, it just depends on what is my purpose of why I'm sleeping the way I'm sleeping, or what I'm trying to learn in this dream. You know what I'm saying? Because even sometimes when you see, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, like I know the first thing that I do, I'm like, let me pinch myself and see if I'm dreaming. But that's kind of like, it don't really work. You know what I'm saying? I got to do something like how you said, you know, if I walk down these stairs and I start floating, then I know, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you start off
Or
at the same part do you start off at the same place when you start off in your dream, or?
no, usually when I'm aware that I'm actually in the dream before the actual waking up part, how can I say this? Usually when I realize that I'm in the dream, I'll get a little feeling inside, and I like to fly in my dreams. So I may flap my arms a little bit, and if I can levitate, usually like 5 or 6 feet in the air, okay. And now I know I'm dreaming, and then I can say either I'm going to fly or just get back to the ground and just carry out the dream. But my thing is, sometimes I'll try to see if I can turn my color dreams into black and white. So back in the 80s, when I had a lot of CDs and VHS on Malcolm X. So of course, a lot of his films there in black and white because of the time. So I used to play these CDs of Malcolm intentionally while I go to sleep, so I can wake up and talk to Malcolm in my dream, and it would be in black and white, and I would be on stage with him and just having a conversation. And I was more amazed to see my brother Malcolm just talking. I was like, wow, okay,
all right.
So for me, I try to
said that because I was gonna tell Jazzy to get something reoccurring in his head. I'm awake in my dream. I'm awake in my dream. I'm waking up in anything like this. Have it keep going for say it for like 2 or 3 minutes and have it keep repeating.
Right.
You'll wake up in your dream.
Right. Pretty much. So for me, Malcolm was just that guy. To me, Malcolm was Haru because he's a hero. He's a black hero for me. You know what I'm saying? So back then, I would just digest and just listen and just take it all in. But my goal was to see Malcolm in my dreams. So I said, you know what? I'll use a CD, loop it, go to sleep. And at some point, I'm going to wake up in that dream. I'm going to see Malcolm. And I've seen Malcolm plenty of times. Some in black and white, some in color. You know, sometimes it would just be dark. You know what I'm saying? I just hear the voice.
Okay.
So for me, my spiritual path, despite I've been in a lot of different schools of thought, I just feel like life is like a kaleidoscope. And we have that ability to zoom in like a hawk, like Heru, zoom in on your quarry, capture your prey. And then other times you got that broad panavision and you see everything around you. You know what I'm saying? And 4K, so to speak. So that's how I treat my dreams.
That's dope. That's dope. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I learned. I'm going to try some of that myself. Because
just simple stuff. That's all. Nothing extravagant. Just do simple things.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't want for nothing because I go to sleep and it's dark. I wake up 3-4 hours later. After that,
right,
I dream. Or I be hallucinating, or I be right on the edge of sleep, but don't be sleep. I don't know what to tell you. But for the first 3-4 hours, it's a power. I'm out.
That's right. That's right.
So we was talking about altars, and I just want to. So you said yours is in your basement. So you put in your work. You give us a little bit of information about.
We said he had a shrine.
Oh, shrine. Okay.
What I would say is that your altar, a simple altar is getting a table, white cloth, white candle, plant, some water on your altar. You can actually write like little notes You can use them as burnt offerings. You know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you wrote, you can set it ablaze, or put it on your altar. So everyone's altar should be something unique for them. I would never say there's a one way approach. One size does not fit all.
Mm-hmm.
We all fit all. We're part of the all. We are the all.
We are the
So
all.
whatever
Universe is
you
mental.
whatever you lean towards spiritually, that's what you use. It may be different from mental. Mental may be different from Haru. But whatever our intentions are as it relates to our altars, that's the energy that we're giving, because it's based on our understanding or overstanding. It's based on our evolution as men. It's based on a number of different factors. So it's the energy that it's like a mirror of you. Because that's the way we have to identify in this 3-dimensional plane.
Facts.
Hey,
You know what I'm
y'all
saying?
keep talking.
So,
I'm about to show y'all something. My Father's Day gift. Keep talking, okay? I'll be right
all right.
back.
So,
I'm
for
still
me,
here.
we just have to approach, you approach your altar the way you approach yourself. So it's like, say, for example, do you take a bath or do you take a shower prior to doing your spiritual work? Or do you take a spiritual bath before you do your spiritual work at your altar?
Right.
We all have those kind of things. Hold on for 1 second, Mental. Hold on.
I'm still here, Mental. I just
Oh no, you good.
I'm
Well,
getting my.
so as you can see, there's many different ways you can awaken yourself during your dreams. You can use your your dreams at night to focus on what you need to learn. Like Brother Hiru was saying, when he had a bad day, he wants to learn something. Put your dream on it so you can wake up in it and do it. We all have this power within us. It's just activating it. All right. That pineal gland activating.
Absolutely.
That's all it is. And when you do things like that, what you were doing at a young age is basically exercising your pineal gland. So it stayed with you and matured as you matured. Most pineal glands go through entropy.
So I want to show y'all
not being used. Go ahead, Jazzy.
That's right.
I want to show y'all what my daughter got me for Father's Day. This is one of them.
That's nice.
And the top come off.
Okay.
And she got me little tablets that's written on tablets. Right. So and then she got a sage stick that she put in there.
Beautiful.
Symbolism.
And
absolutely.
Your bowl that you do your offering.
Yep.
So that's one of them. And then actually the little poles, that's what I guess how they used to carry the Ark of the Covenant. It's got some sayings on there too.
That's right.
So that's one. Then my favorite one is this one.
Nah.
Can you see that?
All right. That reminds me of
it's got the heart in it.
Yeah,
and the feather.
It's got the feather. I was like, man, this is my favorite one right here. She said, Dad, I seen it. And she said, because I was just talking about Anubis the other day. And so she was like, I seen it. And I was like, my dad would like that. I was just like, she get the best Father's Day gifts though, man. I mean, every time it's something that's just, I'm just like, wow, I didn't even know how to act. I felt like a little kid. So since we was talking about altars and stuff, some of the things that I wanted to, because
I appreciate that, family. I appreciate that.
So
but
go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say that your daughter sharing with you what she feels that you need on your journey. It's in the bloodline. It's within the DNA, and that's a beautiful thing to have your daughter present you something of cultural, spiritual significance to her Baba. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was part of my biggest awakening when I found out that she was coming. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when everything just because I don't even really remember. Like I almost wanted to faint because I'm old. You know what I'm about to be 55. I got an 8-year-old. So I was just like, but throughout all of that, I mean, I tell you, like even like the last Father's Day, she got me this. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it a little bit.
Oh, the eye of her.
Oh, okay.
The eye of her.
So
Yep.
yeah, so I mean, it's just like she's so connected. I mean, it's just like spiritually, it's just like I tell Mental all the time. I'm just like, yo, man, she been here before. You know what I'm saying? Because she's giving me the tools that I need to go ahead and keep me going and being
That's
strong.
right.
So I'm just like, it just blows your mind. I don't want any more children, but I'm just saying I'm thankful.
That's right. That's right.
Because
I'll tell you this. When I was really big into Kemet and studying under Sarah, and I was really big into meditation, I would do like 2-3 hour meditations on Saturdays and just rocking out. I remember I meditated and I was back in Kemet. I don't know what particular time frame it was, but I ended up meeting Tahuti. I saw this man change into an ibis bird, and it led me into one of the temples in Kemet, and I was told to go into this room. And so when I went into the room, I ended up seeing the skeletal remains of myself.
Wow.
And it scared the hell out of me. I didn't know what to think.
Wow.
That would have scared me. Shoot.
So I see the skeletal remains of myself, and then in the next scene, I was led by someone grabbed me by my hand and led me outside. So I see all these sand dunes and pyramids in the background, and all of a sudden, I was pulled to the point where I started to fly. So now I'm looking over Kemet, looking at the 3 pyramids of Giza, Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure, and I felt so at ease. And once I realized I was at ease being in the air, I landed and then I woke up. But that particular experience has always stayed with me because I've seen myself in past lives at least 3 times. I got killed by the Klan. I got killed by the Klan in the 1800s. I was with one of my ex-girlfriends, but she was my wife, and we had 2 kids together. It was weird. It was ironic because my daughter, my firstborn, and my first son, they was the children of a girlfriend that I ain't have no kids with. And we were getting chased in some swampy area in the Carolinas. And I remember I got shot 2 times, and I got turned over onto my back. And this white guy was standing over me with this damn shotgun, called me a nigga, and blew my face off. And I woke up in pain.
Wow.
It was crazy. And I had that dream like maybe 3 times, but I was saying, hey, it must be some experience that I had to experience in life, a past life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I'm glad I was fortunate enough to experience a past life. I was aware enough to know that it was a past life for me.
Wow, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Know? So for me, it's all about learning.
You really got to get your book going. You really got to get your book.
It's like right now I'm working on it, but it should have been out. But I always say to myself that when it needs to be out, it'll be out. But I do want to write it.
In time.
I do want to write it before I transition because I'll be 54 next month.
Okay.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to get this book out, and I don't know if I'm going to do an ebook, and I need to find an illustrator just for the front cover. Quite honestly, I don't necessarily want illustrations in the book per se. But just I want Earthbound to be captured because my vision is of a Black woman in the backdrop of the cosmos giving birth to the Earth.
That's dope.
Because we all have to be here. I don't know where we were at last time frame, but I know we have to be on Earth for right now. So I want to give a representation that the Black woman, she is Earth. And the beauty and elegance and the strength comes out of her, and you see that being reflected in the child and all of us as children. You know what I'm saying? You got the sun. The sun is a powerful tool. The earth is a powerful tool. All the things that we consider, in the celestial body is beautiful. They're macrocosms of the microcosm in us.
Facts. As above, so below.
Absolutely. From within,
Hey,
from
man,
without.
well, we've been, it's going on an hour and a half. I thought these were going to be short tire talk, but when the conversation's so juicy.
Hey, this was awesome, bro. You know what? I really like the way that you brought scholarship with everything too. You gave us the books to go ahead and where everybody can go do their research for themselves. You told the author and you told the name of the book, even describe what some of them look like. So, I mean, there's really no reason why nobody that's viewing, that can't go ahead and find, some type of path that they want to, because you went through so many different ways too. I mean, you jumped from from EFI all the way to, when you was doing, you even touched on, what is it? The masonry. You touched on so much, man. It's just like, this was actually truly amazing. I really am thankful that you came on here, my brother, and spoke spirit and spoke truth. And it gives, I mean, it gives a lot for people to, I got to go rewatch and digest, because you brought a lot of truth here, man. I mean, and it was good because a lot of times when we bring people on, it's me and Mental talking most of the time. Right. It was good to go ahead and just, I told you, didn't I tell you? I said, you was like, this is my first time. I don't, I said, trust me, it's going to go so smooth that you won't even recognize it. I mean, it just that's the way it is. It's just like when we ask, your gifts and, how did you start your path? And then it's just like spirit just say, boom, I'm here. And then it's just like, and then that's like when 2 and 3 come together anyways, I am here also. So that's the whole thing. And it's just like, so I really appreciate it, bro. And I just want to say thank you. Mental, anything you want to say?
No, just thank Mr. Haru coming in, giving us more spiritual insight. Another demonstration of being in the world and not of it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Before we go, I do want to thank you, Jazz. I want to thank you for your patience, because a number of individuals that I do know personally, they've been wanting me to speak for a while. And I just been, I've been going through a serious family dynamic some time ago. And for me, if I share anything online or in person, I want to be in a good place. So I'm glad that you was consistent enough to reach out to me again and say, hey, you want to try this again? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Mental, it's a pleasure meeting you, family. And I would definitely look forward to being on the podcast again in the future. You set a time and date, and I'll be happy to rock with y'all and build with y'all for an hour and a half. Easy.
Okay.
Well, we also do a Sundays at
what
2.
Time? 2?
2.
Okay.
All right.
Right now we're going over
the Book of Enoch.
I've heard of that, but I never read it though.
The Book of Knowledge, the Enoch's Keys.
Who's it by?
It's by J.J. Hardick.
If you get an opportunity, would you post it or send it to me? Send like the photograph of the book in Messenger.
I got you.
And what I'll do also as well, the books that I shared with y'all and authors, I'll have that up in about an hour.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's what's up.
All right.
Hey, for everybody that's watching, please like, share. Please share it, because this was very powerful. And I really like that one last point about how you started out at 7 and 6 and 7 years old, and you already knew that you was on a different path. That's the part. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part where
acceptance is the key.
Knowing that you're part of the black sheep of the family and that things is a little different and that you stayed on the path, man. And you know what, like I said, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming. And I can't wait to have you back on again. And I want to say peace to everybody. And peace and love and
All right.
grace. All right.
Peace. Peace,
Peace
family.
and love.
All right.
All right. Peace.
One.
One.